I think you also aspire to make a podcast. Why don't you try Anchor? It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor you will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple and other many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum internship. So download Anchor or visit anchor.fm.
Episode 29 WTF Wednesday 7 Immortals of Indian Culture by Brahma Navle. I know constant knowledge topic get you bored, so keep listening for some off-topic interesting knowledge. Hello everyone, your host Brahma here on the show I Got This Today, where on every Wednesday we get some random facts or knowledge from interesting topics. This episode is the episode of the series 7 Immortals of Indian Cultures. In this series, I tell you about the personalities mentioned in Indian culture who are immortal. I recommend you to listen the first episode, which is episode 23, and then come to this one and listen it. The 7 immortals are Ashwathama, King Mahabali, Hanuman, Kripacharya, Parshurama, Vibishan and Vedvyas. Here we look detailed story of two immortals for today, and that immortals are Hanuman and Vibhishan. Both the characters are from Ramayana. Also, in last episode, we were talking about Ashwathama and Kripacharya and their immortality. They were both from Mahabharata. So let's start by taking the overview of Ramayana first. Ramayana is about the story of incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Lord Ram. Lord Ram is the seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu. In Ayodhya, 4 brothers were born, 3 different queens and King Dashrath, and the eldest brother was Lord Ram. And in all brothers of Ram, Lakshman were closest to Ram. Ram's valor was very great. Ram was a great warrior and had all the qualities to become a king. He grew up and was decided to be crowned as a king very soon. But his stepmother thought that his son Bharat should be the king. She was granted by 2 boons by King Dashrath. So she asked and used that 2 boons and said Dashrath to send Ram for 14 years of exile in the forest and make his son Bharat king. Ram, respecting his father's vow, left for the exile, accompanied with his wife Sita and Lakshman, his brother. One day in exile, Surpanakha, Ravan's sister, saw Ram and desired to marry him and get him. As she get to know that Ram is already married to Sita and she can't marry Ram, she decided to kill Sita. When she was going to kill Sita, Lakshman stood in between and cut her nose and ears with his arrows. Surpanakha cried and went to his brother Ravan. Ravan was the king of Sri Lanka. He was very powerful demon. He had made very injustice on people, and so Ram was here to kill him. Ravan, hearing the insult of Surpanakha, got angry. He went to the forest where Ram and Lakshman were staying for the exile. He kidnapped Sita from there. And the Ramayana stories go from all over to bring Sita back from Ravan and kill Ravan. In this journey of bringing back Sita, one of the biggest help was made by Hanuman. Hanuman, one of the mightiest warrior of Hindu literature. Hanuman was the son of Anjana and Kesari, but also god of wind is referred as his father. Hanuman is considered the biggest devotee of Lord Ram in this world. And yes, Hanuman is immortal. So let's see how he got this boon. When Ram were searching for Sita, Ram and Lakshman came under a mountain. On the mountain, Sugriv and his monkey battalion was living, and also Hanuman was living with them. Hanuman was cursed that he will forget all his powers in the childhood, and once anyone tell him about his power, the powers will return. As Lord Ram reached at the bottom of the mountain, Hanuman went to check who are the persons who are below the mountain. There he saw Ram. He immediately bowed down to Ram and bring him to the up of the mountain. Ram told his all the problems to Hanuman and Sugriv and promised to help Sugriv to get his kingdom back. Ram completed his promise. Sugriv now agreed to complete his promise and help Ram to get Sita. Sugriv sent his all the army to different direction to find Sita, and Hanuman and many warriors were gone to south, the side where Lanka was there. Hanuman reached to the brother of Jatayu who saw Ravan kidnapping Sita. Hanuman asked Jatayu's brother, "Where is Sita?" He told him that Sita is in Lanka. Hanuman started to march towards Lanka, but there was a problem. There was a big sea in between India and Sri Lanka. No one could cross the sea very easily. Even Hanuman didn't have his powers to cross the sea. And then one of the warrior who was the minister of Sugriv told Hanuman about his powers. Hanuman immediately remembered his power and fled to Lanka. There he finds Sita. As to escape from Ravan's soldier, Hanuman has tinied his size. Sita didn't recognize him, but Hanuman take his original form and showed the ring given by Lord Ram. After a long time, Sita was having a hope now to see his husband Ram and get out of this kidnap. Sita, being happy with that, gave a boon of immortality to Hanuman. This boon to Hanuman was very helpful in Ramayana War 2. Hanuman can only resist son of Ravan Meghnath. This is how Hanuman got his boon of immortality from Sita. If you want to know more about Ramayana, I have already made an episode on it, about its secrets and facts. Go check it out. I have linked in description after this. You know why Ravan lost the Ramayana war being so powerful? Because his own family was not with him. His own brother Vibishan was not with him. Yes, the second immortal that we are going to talk about, Vibishan, was Ravan's brother. I think Ram would have lost the war if Vibhishan was not on the Ram's side. Vibhishan knew that Ravan was wrong on all his actions, so he went to Ram and started supporting him. After the Ravan was killed, Vibhishan was crowned as the king of Sri Lanka. While going to Ayodhya, Ram also granted a boon to Vibhishan that he will be immortal. But why? Because Vibhishan played a main role in killing Ravan and his army in the war. Even surrounded with evil, he was supporting good. Even in all the negativity, he was one who stand for positivity. And he was the one who have to take the care of Sri Lanka forever. So Ram granted him this boon. So I think now you have understood why Hanuman and Vibhishan have immortality boons. Hanuman have because he was the only to reach Sita and give a hope of getting free from Ravan. And Vibhishan got the boon because of his positivity and supporting Ram in the war. So these are the two stories for today episode of series 7 Immortals of Indian Culture. You may have the question that this is all related to mythology. Then why you are saying Indian culture and not Indian mythology? because it is still unclear that this is mythology or history or just literature. So I found the word which we turn to in the middle of all this, which is culture. So I think I answer your question well. So that's it for today, and I will see you in the next episode. But go to the description, check the Ramayana episode. Also, best books are given there. May it be growth book, self-realization book, or biographies. Also, books related to Ramayana are also linked. So check it now. Also, follow us and leave your feedback. I will see you soon. Enjoy your day.